If you stayed for this, it means something landed. Part I was about naming the weight. Part two is about what you do once you see it, not fixing, not rushing, not reinventing your whole life overnight. Just choosing to stop abandoning yourself in the quiet moments where no one's watching. So let's keep the fire going. Most men don't need more insight. They need fewer leaks. Energy leaks. Boundary leaks. Attention leaks. Honesty leaks. Growth doesn't start with a breakthrough. It starts with containment. What drains you that you keep tolerating? What do you keep explaining instead of changing? What promises do you keep breaking with yourself because no one else can see it? Start there. Not dramatically, practically. One habit tightened. One boundary enforced. One honest conversation you stop postponing. That's how lives change. Quietly, predictably, for real. There's a myth that clarity comes before movement. It doesn't. Faith isn't certainty. It's willingness. You don't need to know the whole path. You need to take the next honest step without betraying what you already know is true. Most men aren't lost. They're delayed, waiting for permission, waiting for confidence, waiting for the fear to go away. It won't move anyway. With humility, with reverence, with the understanding that growth is not loud. It's obedient. It listens. It responds. Your life is not a performance. It's raw material. Pain, joy, failure, love, loss, none of it was wasted. Most men try to erase the parts of themselves they don't like. Artists learn to work with them. You don't need a new personality. You need integration. What part of you did you exile to survive? What part of you went quiet to keep the peace? What part of you is still waiting to be invited back? Wholeness isn't becoming better. It's becoming complete. We live in a time where men are overloaded with input and starving for clarity. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has a framework. Everyone is selling certainty. This is your reminder. You don't need to be optimized. You need to be aligned. Pressure doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're carrying responsibility without enough support or reflection. You're allowed to update. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to outgrow versions of yourself that once kept you alive. Stability isn't staying the same. It's adapting without losing your core. Discipline is not punishment. It's relief. It's waking up without negotiating with yourself. It's choosing once so you don't have to choose again. It's removing friction from the things that matter. Men think discipline restricts them. In reality, it removes chaos. When your values are clear, your decisions get lighter. Do the hard thing early. Tell the truth cleanly. Keep your word quietly. That's not rigidity. That's peace. Let's lighten this for a second. You don't need to become a monk, or delete your personality, or suddenly have a morning routine that looks like a YouTube thumbnail. You're allowed to be human. You're allowed to mess up. You're allowed to laugh while learning. Growth that takes itself too seriously usually collapses. Progress doesn't require you to hate who you were. It just requires you to stop pretending you didn't know better. Responsibility is not self-destruction. Too many men confuse carrying everything with being honorable. That's not strength. That's a lack of delegation and boundaries. A warrior protects what matters by staying functional. You are not more noble because you're exhausted. You're just harder to live with. Strength includes rest. Leadership includes saying no. Courage includes asking for help before you break. There will come a day when you wish you had started sooner. Not with intensity, with honesty. Regret is not about what you failed to do. It's about where you stayed silent when you knew something needed to change. You still have time. But time responds to action, not intention. Don't rush, but don't drift. Choose deliberately. Live awake. Leave fewer things unsaid. Sovereignty isn't dominance. It's self-command. Can you regulate your reactions? Can you sit with discomfort without numbing it? Can you choose your values even when no one applauds? This is where freedom lives. Not in control of others, and stewardship of yourself. A man who governs himself doesn't need to prove anything. Part I was about seeing the armor. Part 2 is about learning when to set it down, not forever, not everywhere, but consciously. You don't need to become someone else. You need to stop disappearing. If you're still here, that tells me something about you. You're not done, you're not late, and you're not alone. This isn't the end of the conversation. It's the point where it gets honest. Thanks for watching.